guys, long time no see. Haven't really had much to film for the past long while, but in saying that, I'm about to head off today to basically Scandinavia on the whole. So I start my adventure obviously in Auckland, flying Singapore Airlines to Singapore, then I'm in Copenhagen for a day, before scooting off to they're called the Faroe Islands, so they're like a little tiny bunch of islands that are incredibly beautiful, and they kind of sit between Scotland and Iceland, so they're very remote. They're basically in the middle of nowhere, but the scenery is stunning from what I've heard and what I've seen on pictures and stuff, so, you know, why not? It should make very interesting vlogging material anyway. Then I head back to Copenhagen, where I meet up with my parents, and we go, we're sort of like looking around and stuff. My aim is to find the best cake in Copenhagen. Apparently they're very into their cakes. Then we head up to Sweden, where we take a car and travel across Sweden doing a self-tour, staying in beautiful hotels and castles. And then we spend a few days in Stockholm itself, in the old part of Stockholm. I'm hoping to convince my parents, I've been trying to, see the ABBA Museum. I'm like, you know, you're in Sweden, you gotta see ABBA. And from there we part ways. My parents go to Scotland and I head to Singapore for a few days before arriving back in Auckland. So this whole trip is going to be about 4 weeks long. Today is day one, of course. So yeah, hopefully it's going to be interesting vlogging material. And yeah, I'll show you guys as much as I can along the way. You know, where cameras and awkward talking into camera stuff permits. It's always a little bit awkward doing it. But to be honest, from a personal perspective, it helps me remember the trips. I don't have a great memory. So that Sri Lanka one I did a couple of years back has been great, because I can, you know, it triggers memories and stuff for me. Yeah, so I'm about to head off to the airport. I've got about 5 to 10 minutes before my parents pick me up. Yeah, I've been racing around this morning like an absolute mad thing. Had a whole bunch of things that I wanted to do. So yeah, I'm just relaxing for the last little bit. I kept putting things in weird places that I wanted to take. I spent about 10 minutes looking for a plug that was right in front of my eyes. I'm just nuts. And yeah, my cat also brought me a present this morning. When I say present, it's usually unwanted. I initially thought it was a mouse or a rat, but I quickly found out that it wasn't either of those. It was a tiny baby rabbit. So in New Zealand we don't like rabbits. They cause a lot of damage to our wildlife and forests. So I called my dad first and I was like, what do I do with this thing? I've managed to catch it. And it was sort of sitting in my cat carrier. He's like, oh, I'll call the vet and see what they'll do. So the vet kindly offered to take the rabbit off my hands. You know, one, yeah, damage to the environment, and two, this rabbit was so tiny it was no way going to survive on its own. So yeah, the vet took it up to the vet, and they're dealing with the rabbit in a humane way. So yeah, that was my unexpected excitement for this morning. Unfortunately I had to go out with wet hair, and it sort of dried, and you know, I dried it, but it's kind of come out a lot more emo than I usually want out of my hair, with a lot more crazy waves and stuff underneath. Ugh. Never mind, I'm only going on a plane. Looks unimportant. I know I'm going to look terrible after the first plane ride, and I'm going to look shocking after the second plane rides. I do not do well on plane rides at all. I have to take a sleeping pill to knock myself out, because I end up getting sick around the 4-hour mark, and then it's just, well, it's awful, and I can't sleep anyway. I'm not a great flyer. Says the person who wanted to be an air hostess for a while. Thought it would be a good way to see the world. But yeah, wasn't to be. Never mind, things work out for the better. So yeah, just sitting here relatively calmly before the parental unit arrives to take me to the airport. So yeah, I'm really hoping that we'll get some good vlogging material out of it, and that you guys enjoy it. Yeah. See you at the airport, I suppose. Hey guys, I've arrived in Denmark. Don't ask me where I am because I absolutely have no idea. Basically arrived, kind of figured out the train system. Very confusing. Not everything is in English. And then, yeah, got to the hotel about 9 hours early of my checkout. So, yeah, just had to drop stuff off, got changed, and then decided to go for a walk. So here I am, no idea where I am, but it's quite pretty, and this is really awkward because I'm talking to a camera on a main street. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy my footage of my first impressions of Copenhagen. So this is the room I'm staying in. It's pretty nice. Really excited about that bath there. Shower's gonna be interesting. But yeah, very nice. Very happy. I also have a spa pass, so very much looking forward to using that, and getting more than 3 hours sleep would be a bonus. Okay guys, it's day 2, well the beginning of day 2. Well, not really for me, I've been up for like the last 3 or 4 hours anyway with jet lag. Quite proud of myself, I managed to sleep 7 hours. Last night's dinner consisted of a plum, which I grabbed from the spa area of the hotel. And yeah, I had a nice little spa session. It was kind of weird. It had like one super cold pool, one lukewarm pool, and a whole bunch of like deck chairs in this underground area, as well as some face masks and some coffee grounds which you use to scrub your skin with. Interesting experience. Yeah, it'd be quite cool if I was staying here a little bit longer, but today I'm going to the Faroe Islands. So I've just been out. It's still really muggy. Oh, there goes my alarm. Just a stop here. Oh my gosh, they're all going. Yeah, just went out and got some breakfast and stuff from this place called, I'm gonna pronounce everything wrong, Lagkagi Huzet. That's their packages anyway. Brought a bunch of things. As far as I mentioned, I went out. Super hot outside. Though I'm the only one walking around in singlets and a pants, everybody else is wearing jackets and stuff, so I really wonder how hot it gets here in summer. I'm guessing quite warm, but I am dying at the moment. Having come from a nice cool New Zealand winter, though going to Faroe Islands today will mean that I'm kind of back in my normal temperature zone. It's good. Oh yes, yesterday while I was walking around, I went to the Disney store, and I'm so embarrassed by this. I was the first one there. They opened at 10 because it was a Sunday, and they wouldn't let me get in the store unless I use this giant key in this lock, which apparently releases all the magic in the store. And then I was allowed to enter. They were like, do you want to do this? And I was like, no. I'm almost 34 years old. I think I'm a little old for this, but they wouldn't let anybody in the store, and there was no tiny kid unfortunately available in the vicinity at the time, and I was just like, yeah, whatever. So I ended up going in there and getting a few things. I got a little key, which is in the same shape as the one I used to open the store, and I just got some decorations, one for my brother, which hopefully by this time the video goes up, I would have seen him and I would have given it to him. And I got one for myself, which is in the shape of Baymax from Big Hero 6, which I love that movie. So good. If you haven't seen it, totally check it out. It's real cute. The best part is the ba-la-la-la-la. If you haven't seen the movie, you will have absolutely no idea what I'm talking about, but it's good. What else did I do? I had a look in a whole bunch of shops. There was some really cool interior design stores. You can totally understand why Danish interior design is amazing. Like everything in that shop I would have bought if I could. I'm just like now starting to rethink of what I should do in my own house. Yeah, clothing, I don't think I hit the right clothing stores, to be honest. Everything I was just like meh, you know, not really my vibe. What else did I do? Oh, I found this really cool place for lunch. It's called Tonkin, and it's a Vietnamese place, so luckily it opened by 11:30 and I was like seriously starving by then, so I had a banh mi, which was like a spicy pork sandwich thing, which was absolutely delicious, and I had a tiger beer because I was dying of thirst. And then after lunch I just kind of potted around. My feet were killing me by that stage, so I just walked back and then sort of waiting for the time that I could check in, and I came across this weird design sort of expo thing. So I went in and they had all these people selling all these different things, like oh god, there goes my last alarm. Means I've been talking for about 5 minutes or 10 minutes. No, I don't. You just snooze. And yeah, they had a whole bunch of things like clothing, lots of pottery. Pottery is a really big thing over here. I'd love to take some back. They're just gorgeous, beautiful glaze, some of it like raw, kind of like exposed looking. Yeah, and it was mainly just clothing and pottery, and oh, I had some alcohol there. Unfortunately I got one of those chocolate whiskey things, the Lowest Row creamery things, which are amazing if you haven't had them. Totally recommend having some. So that's what I'm taking to the Faroe Islands to keep me warm. Anyway, I'm going to go and enjoy my breakfast, and I probably won't vlog until I get to the Faroe Islands, which will be about 3 o'clock, I guess, by the time I get through the airport and all that sort of stuff. So see you on the other side.